I remember things by writing them down. I don't
Me
ever have
too.
to look at the notes again, but it's how my brain works. And it's the weirdest thing when I was in college. It was like if I attended every class remember things by writing them and down. Just took the notes, then I didn't have to study for the test. That's all I had to do was physically write the notes. That's how my brain takes information in. So I'll take notes and then I'll never look at them again. I have notebooks full. But for some
Your
people,
brain.
it's how, like, why YouTube is so popular. Somebody wants to learn how to, I don't know, change the belt on the washing machine, which my husband has done. He just goes to YouTube, he watches the video, he goes, oh, okay. And then he goes and does it. So that's one of the reasons the YouTube explosion on how-to things. So that's pretty cool. All right. So we're going to talk about passwords versus pass keys, but we're also going to talk, Sandra?
Sorry. I have this huge note or this thing at the top of my screen that says the content of this meeting is being sent to one or more apps.
Yeah, that's because I'm recording it for YouTube.
Okay. Oh, so that's okay. All right.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. I just said, sorry.
Okay. What was I saying?
Passwords and passkeys.
Passcodes and passwords and pass keys, also security keys. That was Medina's question at the end of class last week, and it's a really good question. So I did some research on it. We're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna talk about the homework, which was security. Doing your security updates and checkups. So the idea was that everybody has a level of security with their digital life that you have control over. And so the assignment was to go in, and we used Google because that's the one I use, but you can use your Apple iCloud and review your security and make sure that it's up to date and as strong and as tight as you want and need it to be. So full honesty here, how many people actually did that? Yeah, I figured. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through it again, again,
Okay.
because it is, well, let me ask you this. Tell me why. Tell me why you didn't. This isn't like a judgment. It's good information for me to know, like you already know it, you're already good, and this is a waste of time. That's one conversation, or I don't know how. Teresa, tell
I
me.
just missed the class. I didn't,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't understand. I didn't know how.
Okay.
My brain lost
Okay.
how we were
Good
supposed to
one.
do it.
Good one. All right. Who else? Who else was in class last week and didn't?
And I didn't, well, I came back from Israel with 5 Israeli cousins of mine, and I've been playing tour guide every single day. So I haven't done anything. In fact, my email is all backed up. Tomorrow they're going to Key West. I'm staying home. I'm going to
Okay.
catch up on everything.
Okay. Who else? Betty.
Me, Betsy, me,
Carlene.
Colleen. So I did go there and I looked at it but then I don't have time to do anything else. I mean, I looked at it. It didn't seem like a big problem. So yeah, I know how to do it. It's time consuming, which right now I've been traveling and I got to pack tomorrow to go to Orlando for line dance workshop. So just
Okay.
I got back from a Pennicamp reunion in Weirsdale. So it's like I haven't even unpacked. I mean, I'm repacking.
All right. Travel is good. Anybody
Run.
else?
I didn't do it. I have a friend who put Bitdefender on my computer. And about that time I got hacked and I paid for it, for a year. And I guess the account got closed and changed because of the being hacked. So I paid it again, and now they're saying my subscription's run out, and I'm trying to figure out how to get back because when I looked up Bitdefender, it said my subscription was paid for a year. And
Okay.
I'm still trying to get that squared away, figuring that'll help with the security.
It does for a little bit. So it's, hang on, we're gonna go. All right, we're gonna make this a teaching moment. Now that I've pulled it up, and we're gonna do a share.
By the way, my cousins from Israel call it John Pancake.
That's funny. All right, so we're gonna look real quick at Bitdefender. Is this the one? Is that the icon, Betty?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it, I think.
You recognize
Yeah,
the,
look,
the
that's the
B?
one. Yeah, that's what,
Okay.
well,
Okay, so we're gonna look here for a minute. All right. I don't want notifications, block. Okay, so from their website, you would sign in or create an account. You already have an account, so you would sign in.
yeah,
Do it here too. Okay, and then once you have signed in, let me just go down to the bottom because sometimes there's good information down at the bottom. Oh, it's being covered up because of that. There's support. Okay, so at the top here's support. And we can activate and install account billing and subscription. So Betty, what I would do if I were you is just go right to account billing and subscription. Do you see this?
yeah,
Go right there and just contact them.
yeah,
Don't try and noodle through and figure out, is it happening or not happening? Go to the website and then contact directly. Now that's actually a skill right there. When you aren't sure if something is or isn't happening, morning, Andy and Renee, I assume. You go directly to the source yourself. You don't rely on an email that came to you. You don't rely ever on a pop-up that happens on your computer that says you should do something. You always go directly to the source. Linda.
A funny thing happened last week. I had to call some tech. I don't even remember what it was about. And the guy comes on the phone, very nice. And the first thing I asked him if he was AI or a real person. He got such a kick out of it. He started laughing.
That's fun. That's fun. Now, this was just a random call?
No, I don't remember what it was. It was an important call, and he was very helpful. But I
That's
just
fun.
don't remember what it was.
That's fun. Very cool. So, does that, I want to make sure that that one thing that I just said, that point that I just made, stuck in with everybody.
Go directly to the source.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Betty's having a question about whether or not her subscription is still active with her antiviral software. So you don't get an email and click in the email if they say you need to renew. You go yourself by looking it up and going directly to the source. Also, I had hoped when I went there that it was going to show, I'm going to go back out of this a minute and do it again and see if it happens. We're going to do Bitdefender. And I go software company. Okay. Notice at the top, and I've said this many times, but I can't stress it enough, where it says sponsored.
Yeah. Don't use those.
Don't click sponsored. Do not go there. Scroll down. Here's an unsponsored one. And I look, what is the address? Bitdefender. All the letters are right. Dots are in the right places. I would go there. Would not go to the top ones. Okay. So let me stop the share. Okay. So does that make sense, Betty?
yes,
All
thank
right,
you.
Second thing we want to make sure in Betty's situation, and when you all share what's going on with you, it's a great information for everybody, okay? So just make sure that you feel that, yeah, if I ask questions, I'm not going to ask a question because it's dumb. Nobody knows. Everybody knows this. I'm the only one that doesn't. No, not true. Always share your questions. Martin, hold yours just a second. Just remember it. So then the other part of that is that, Betty said, and I'm paraphrasing here, if I get that straightened out, then my security will be fine. No, not necessarily. There are so many levels and layers of security. Okay. So that's one thing. And I'll just talk about mine and my subscription, and it'll be similar across all different companies that as we started class, I got a little pop-up from my antiviral that said a scan happened and everything's fine, basically. What that means is the antiviral software that I've installed and paid for on my computer is going to scan at a rate that I say. You know, I say do it every day. I say do it when I start up. I do it when you get to choose. So those are settings when you get antiviral software that you choose how often do you want scans to happen. And so then it does its scan and then it'll give you a report. Everything's good, not so good. And then what you should do, what it did, a variety of choices in that scenario if there is problems. So when that happens, what it did was it scanned for what's already on your computer. It's some of it stops things from coming in, but your actions can override those things. That's the whole point of having antiviral software, because the things that you do can create openings for things to come in that you do not want. Places we click that we shouldn't, right? Attachments that we open. Even attachments that we think are good could possibly come with something that's not so good, came from somebody else who maybe isn't as attentive to their security as you are. And so they're not intentionally being malicious to you, a friend, a neighbor, a family member, sending you something, and they're not trying to be malicious to you, but they don't have great digital habits. And so their digital habits may have caused them to get some things. They might not have antiviral software. They might not know not to click on things. We know plenty of people who have had computer problems because of actions that they took. That's how that works. That's where all the money is, right? That's the whole reason for hacking. It's all money driven, right? So there's a value for the criminals in all of this. And so our job is to know what it takes to be protected. And one of them is antiviral software. Yes, absolutely. And I don't recommend not having it. I mean, it's real important. There's Miss Amy. Morning. So that's one step, Betty. But then the other step is what you do. And that's why I wanted everybody to do a security check. Okay. So Martin, your question.
No, I just received the call. I have to leave. I'll catch up with you next week. Okay? Thank you.
Martin, make sure you watch this video.
Okay.
You get the email, right?
Yes, I do.
Get the email, watch this video. I always put the link right in the top so
Yeah.
that you can review what we're going to do.
I will. Thank you very much. Have a great
Thank you.
day. I'll see you next
Sorry to
week.
keep you. All
Bye-bye.
right. All right. Have a great day. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into looking at a Google security checkup, because I don't have time to go away phone. I said the G word and my phone went, did you call? We're going to do the security checkup. I'm going to show you how little time it takes. Okay. I think it's more mentally how much time it takes in our brains than actual time it takes. It takes way less time to do a digital security checkup than it does to clean out duplicate photos, than it does to clean out all of our trash emails, to clean out files that we no longer need. It takes less time than all of that kind of brainless housekeeping. Okay. So I'm going to go to move here and do a share. All right, we can close the Bitdefender and we're going to go to a new tab. All right. Everybody can see my screen, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Says Google, yeah.
Says Google. Up in the upper right-hand corner where my cursor is a picture of
Yes.
me. Google account, Betsy Based. See that?
Yep.
I can't see your faces, so I don't know if you're following me. If you do not follow me, please don't wait until I get 18 steps past. Stop me in the moment where you say, no, I don't know how you got there. Okay. Okay. So now I click on that. Clicked on my picture. Clicking on my picture brings up all of my Google accounts. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Great Heart Helping Hands Google account. I'm going to click on that. Okay. Now notice I've got a whole different Google background. It's a different account. Up in the corner, it shows which account am I in? I'm in Great Heart Helping Hands. Okay. That's the one I want to be in. For everybody else who has a Google account, you're just going to look at it as it is. You know, you might not have 5 Google accounts. And so you're just going to click on that icon. And when you click on that icon and it brings this up, you're going to manage your Google account. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I click on
oh,
manage my Google account. Okay.
okay.
Now look up in the top here. I am in my Google account for this specific account. Okay. And I put different icon pictures so that I know which one is which. Much easier. And,
See, I
and
can't. I'm sorry, I can't see. I'm only seeing pictures of y'all. It's very, is my own, it's not yours, it's mine. When I click here, but nothing comes open.
okay. Sandy,
Yeah.
I don't want you to do anything.
Oh,
I just want you to watch.
okay. I'm
Don't,
sorry.
don't
I
do it.
thought we were
Don't do it.
supposed to.
No,
Okay.
way too confusing. This is like the tutorial. Watch the whole process. This will
Okay.
be at least the second time you've seen the process. The more times you see the process, the more it'll make sense. That's
Right.
also why I send that email out so people can watch it again when they
Yeah.
click on the video.
I couldn't find it, so all right. I don't know. Yeah. I'll deal with that later.
Okay.
That's my
So-
personal problem.
Okay. So, you are saying you haven't seen any of the emails that I have sent out.
Right. I don't know what happened. I don't know where they are. Maybe they went to my junk
Right.
email.
So what I
don't
said
know.
was, and this
Yeah.
is, for everybody, if you can't find an email and it's something important, and this applies across the board. This isn't just about me. You are getting things from your doctor, you're getting things from a tax accountant or whatever, and they're not in your contact list, your email is going to treat it as spam. Okay. So the first thing you want to do when you want to make sure that you get something that's important to you, you have to put that in your contact list. Okay. So my email address is Great Heart Helping Hands for You, GHHH, 3 H's, the number 4, and you at gmail.com. You have to put that in your contact list.
And Great Heart Helping Hands.
It's
Okay.
just the initials, G, H, 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 4, the number 4, and then the letter U. And then you can also just do a search. So once it's in the contact list, then you can just do a search for that in your emails. But the easiest thing to do is probably look in your spam or junk folder, whichever one it is.
Right.
I always send it, I try really hard to always send it on Wednesday after class. It might not come right after class. I have a pretty busy life, but I try and get it done on Wednesday. So you can look next Wednesday because you can search by date too, right? So you search by date for an email from Great Heart Helping Hands for You. All right, so we're going to go to share. So from here, I'm on Google account, and I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to look. Okay, and over here, I've got a menu on the left-hand side. Here's my home, and I can just kind of look, what is here on my home. So where it's blue in the left-hand side, it says home. Over here, I have some little quick tabs that I can go to. I'm not going to go there right now because I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I'm not to get distracted, I want to look at security. So I can look right here. There's the green shield that says my account is protected. Security checkup checked your account and found no recommended actions. So I think it was 2 weeks ago that we were looking at the security the first time. And so after that class, I went in and changed all my main passwords. So, because it had been almost 6 months. And so I did a quick, it took me less than an hour to make sure that all of my accounts, because you saw I have like 5 or 6, are secure. And some of those are joint accounts that I share with other folks. And so I had to contact them and make sure that they knew I was updating our passwords and creating new passwords for those accounts so that we're protected. Okay. So it says it's protected. I can see the details here. I can look down. There are privacy sections of suggestions available. Take a privacy checkup. I can do that. It says there are 3 suggestions here. Looking for something else? No, I'm not. I'm actually here for security. So I'm going to go over here on the sidebar to my security button. And it's going to go, here's my page that's all about security. And again, it tells me your account is protected. Checkup was done. There's no recommendations. I'm going to click see details. Okay, so what does that mean? Here's my security, my first security checkup. Devices, where am I signed in? Okay, I'm signed in Windows computer. That's the thing I'm on right now. I'm on my Google Pixel tablet and I'm on my Google Pixel phone. That's it. Those are the 3 devices because I've cleaned this list up. When I had my accounts on older devices, if you don't go in here and delete the devices, then you're still signed in on those devices. So if you get a new device and you get rid of an old device, you wipe the old device clean, and then you make sure you take it off of where you're signed in so that you only are signed in to devices that you actually still use and have. Okay, so that's one little tab. Boom, done that. Okay, next one, recent security activity. No activity in the last 28 days. No new sign-ins or anything like that. So that's all clean. Sign in and recovery. 2-step verification is on. Where is it signed on? On my Pixel tablet, on my phone, and there's my phone number that is my backup, so that it recognizes that phone number as my device for my 2-step verification. If it's going to send me a text with a security code that I have to then put in to get onto a site, that's the phone number it's going to go to. So I'm going to make sure that 2-step verification is on. And where is it on? It's on my devices. Okay, next one, Gmail settings. All right, blocked email addresses. This is all it is email addresses that when I get a spam mail, I instantly go and I report spam and I block it. Okay, so there's the blocked email addresses. This literally isn't useful information to me. I guess it's just a list of telling me that I have done that, and that's a good thing. All right, saved passwords. So I go here and it says I have 1 password for 1 site. That's because all of my passwords are saved in my other account, my personal account. I don't keep passwords here. That's why we're on this account, looking at this account, because I can show it all to you. I don't need to show you the other one where I've got 460 something passwords saved.
God.
So we go to password checkup and it says a list of passwords, and I'm just kind of curious. Check the security passwords you've saved to your Google account, learn if they're compromised. To get started, we need to verify it's you. So I'm going to click check passwords, and it says use your passkey to confirm it's really you. Google wants to make sure that it is safe. Now, here's the thing. It says your device will ask you for your fingerprint, face, or screen lock. So now we're morphing into Medina's question, what's a passkey? Okay, and right there, very simply, there are 3 kinds: biometric or a screen, I'm sorry, biometric is 1. Biometric is fingerprint, face, and then the second one is screen lock. So your passkey is your fingerprint on your phone if it takes a fingerprint. For Apple users, it's a face. You put your face in front of the thing and it unlocks it. That's a passkey, okay? A screen lock is when I unlock my phone and I use a 4-digit code. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to say continue. And it says make sure it's really you. And I'm going to put in my PIN for this computer. And there we go. Now I'm in. It did the check to see is it really me. And it says I have no compromised passwords. They're all unique and no weak passwords are found. That's my security checkup right there. Boom, done for passwords. Okay, we go back. Now we look and I'm all done with this section. Okay, so now I've done the very basic security checkup and everything's good. Anybody time me? No? How long did that take?
Not long.
Not long. Okay.
Let's see. So fingerprint and face is what's known as biometric.
Fingerprint and face are biometric. It's using your body.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now we're back at the main screen for my Google account for this particular account. Great Heart Helping Hands for You. And there's that email address. We're in the main security tab and we went to two-step verification. Now, passkeys and security keys, we looked at that. This password I changed in December, so I've still got another month or two if I'm doing a 6-month change. Skip password when possible is on for me because I know that I'm super, super safe about everything. Google prompt, 2 devices. This is when I'm doing across the board. If I'm signing into a new device, let's say I go to the library and I sign into my Google account. It doesn't recognize the library computer as my computer. So it's going to send a notification to my phone to say, is this you trying to get into your Google account? And I say, yes, it's me. And then it says, okay, what number is showing on the screen? And on my phone, I have to tap a choice of 3 numbers, which number is on that computer screen, because it's prompting me to protect me. It's saying, we don't know. Did somebody steal your username and password? We don't know this device. Are you safe? And so I confirm that I'm safe. All right. That's what the Google prompt is. And my 2 devices on that, I'm assuming, okay, and it's going to ask me again. Notice that in order for me to look at this information, it's going to verify it's me again. And so it says it wants my fingerprint, and I can't do a fingerprint on this computer. So I have to do my password, my passkey for this. And where are my Google prompts happening? Yes, on my 2 mobile devices, my tablet and my Pixel 6. Okay, going back here. So that's pretty much it. Okay, recovery email. I can add more sign-in options. I can add an authenticator. I can back up the 2-step verification phones. I can have backup codes. Here's my devices, connections to third-party apps and services. I've got 2 of them with this particular one. So I can sign into Instagram with this account using just my Google address and my password here. Scrolling down a little bit more, enhanced browsing. I don't feel the need for that because I have antiviral protection and I have the knowledge and habits of not browsing on things that are dangerous. Okay. I can turn it on for more browsing security. And Betty, this is something that you might want to do while you're not sure whether or not your antiviral software is working. You could enable enhanced safe browsing and that would protect you. Now, the other thing that's really useful here in a Google account is a dark web report. Start monitoring to get alerts and guidance if your info is found on the dark web. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on because it is on my other account. I don't do browsing through this account, so it doesn't matter, but I'm going to say, yes, let's do this. So let me move these little things so we can see. And it says start monitoring. So I'm going to click it and it says allow monitoring for other Google account. I've added this email to my monitoring profile. Now choose additional info. So let's see, what do I want Google to let me know if it shows up? Yeah, I'm going to say my date of birth, my name, and my phone number. Let me move this little thing. There we go. And I say allow because I want Google to tell me when that information shows up. And it says I can add an address if I want to. I can add another email, but in my other accounts, I've already got those, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to add an address here because this was created and used solely in the keys, so I'm not going to worry about an address because that address is done. I'm going to go done, and it says your monitoring profile. Now, when I finish that, it says you're monitoring the dark web. I just gave Google permission to look on the dark web and see if it finds me. And it says 2 data breaches leaked your info on the dark web. View details and take action to protect yourself. This is good information, right?
Yep.
Okay, so name 0, date of birth 0, email 0, phone number 2 places. Okay. Now, other results, social security number, 1 result, name, 2 results, date of birth, 1 result. So I'm going to say show more. What does that mean? Oh, it just showed the address and the email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to see view all results. And this tells me where my information was leaked. So if you've been in this class for a while, you'll remember that AT&T subscriber data was hacked in it was 2021 subscriber data where my stuff showed up on the dark web March 19th for AT&T subscriber breach. It was a huge breach. We don't have AT&T anymore, so I'm not worried. Nobody's going to get in to an AT&T account with that information. What does it have though? Well, it has my phone number, my social security, my name, my date of birth, my address, and my email. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so I clicked on it. There's my phone number. Now, what it is, it was my husband's account. He had gotten the AT&T account and we both shared it, obviously. So it has his social security, his name, his date of birth. Interesting, we've never lived in Guilford, Connecticut, but there's his email. So that's kind of bizarre. I'm a little curious about that address thing. Suggested next steps. What can I do? Protect yourself from spam calls. Put yourself on the National Do Not Call Registry. Set up spam protection for either Apple or Android phones. I have those, so I'm not worried about it. My phone blocks things really nicely for me. All right, then the other one, Facebook username leak. This was in January 2nd of 2020. So when we click on this one, what was found? Yep, my phone number, my full name, and it says, what should I do? Use spam protection. So it's not giving me any additional information that I don't already know. So that's all good information. I want to know when my name and stuff is out there because then I can tighten things up. I can make sure we're just scrolling down. There are some articles. How can you protect yourself better? And here's great articles about what is all this? How to protect your passwords, tips for stronger passwords, a great little learning tool right there at the bottom. So I'm going to stop the share. I should have looked at the time when we started and looked at the time when we end. That did not take much time. I'm going to hazard a guess. It didn't take more than 15 minutes.
Betsy, what's the difference? I mean, when it says spam protection, if like I've got the MacBook and I do have a spam folder. Things go into that folder.
Yes.
Is that the protection?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you, and one of the things that you can do, so we'll look at that, and that's a great question. We'll look at that on email. Of course, we get spam Let's go here. You also get spam on phone calls too, right?
Right.
So let's move this over here. So if I go, this is what's in my inbox right now. This is not spam. This is something I really appreciate. A newsletter about security. But if this was in something that I didn't want, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my more button.
Yeah.
I'm going to click it and I'm going to report spam.
Oh, I
And
see.
now, so this is funny because this actually comes to my personal account, comes to my B-Base one. So
Yeah.
I sent it to myself. So I can report spam and block myself by blocking this right here. That is how I get those blocked emails. Remember when we were looking at the security checkup and there were blocked emails? Well,
Yeah.
because whenever I get something that is not what I asked for and obviously spam, I'm going to report it and block it. One, it protects me. Two, it protects you. Because every time I report spam and every time everybody else reports spam, it helps train the server what is spam. So everybody else who's using Gmail is going to get a little bit of data that says, oh, okay, so Betsy said this is spam. All right, so let's just look in my spam folder here for a minute and see no spam. Okay, this is, like I said, this is an account that doesn't go many places. I use it for two things only. Now, the one, my personal account, and we will just go ahead and switch over there real quickly. When we go to my personal account and we look at my spam folder, I have 225 things in my spam folder. Okay, these are things that I did not have anything to do with. It just came. All right. And I did not have to put this in my spam folder. Google automatically did it. Now, I will comment the Adrian Arsh Center. I have asked them a million times to take me off of their list because I'm not going to any shows there anymore. And I felt bad and I told them, please take me off the list or I'm going to have to block it. And so I did. And so I blocked this account for buying tickets at the Arsh Center. I'm sorry, Arsh, but you didn't do what I asked you to do, which was take me off the list. That's the only one that is honestly not spam. I signed up for it once upon a time, asked them to take me off of it, and they won't. But all the rest of this stuff is just stuff that comes, and nothing is here what I have signed up for. So occasionally, and the reason why I have 225, I probably haven't cleared this out in about a month. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear it out now because what I do before I clear it is I look and I see, okay, is there anything here that maybe got into my spam folder by accident? Okay, no. Now that's only the first 50. This is 1 through 50 of 227. So if anything is older, now I'm in April 9th. Anything here? Nah. Okay, here's one. We do have a Lowe's account. You've won a DeWalt 200-piece mechanics tool set. You think? No, we have
First
not.
of all, the grammar is incorrect. You
Yeah.
have one N.
Yeah, exactly. Interestingly, that is no longer a good indication anymore, Medina, because AI has gotten so good that the grammar is much better. But yes, you caught that perfectly. What's interesting to me is that it also even has the little registered sign here, Lowe's registered. But look when I hover over it,
Yeah.
what's the email address? Look at, can you see the pop-up?
Yes.
5AFCOBEM 2ZY. I mean, come on, really? So I don't even have to open it. And you can see these are all in bold, which means I have not opened them at all.
Yeah.
And so I can go in and I can just look and I can double check and see, is there anything in here? T-Mobile. Yeah, no. My iPhone has shipped. Really? No, it hasn't. So there's so many things that are just, they don't belong here. Warren Buffett, really? And then reference number. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just really silly things. I've won Starbucks, a coffee lovers box set. Please respond. These are the things that you want to make sure that if they happen to come into your email, like I've never even seen any of this stuff. If they happen to come into your email, then you want to make sure you report it as spam. I'm going to go ahead and delete all spam messages right now. I've looked at 2 pages. I know what's in there and what's not in there. And it asked me, are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, I want to delete it. There we go. And it's deleting, and it's going to take a little while because it's 227. Hopefully it's going to do them all. And it did not. Huh. Let's click. It should have done all of them. This will affect one conversation. Yes, I want to continue. Deleting all messages there. Now it says no spam here. So that's clean. So that's good. And that's what I want. So when we're looking at security checkups, real important. It doesn't take a lot of time to do a quick little check to see what have I got here. And if you don't understand what it says, there's always learn more. It always tells you. Teresa.
I use Safari as opposed to Google. Do
Okay.
the same rules pretty much apply?
Yes. Now, what I'm going to say about that is with Safari, what you've asked me is about the browser.
Yeah.
But we have 2 things here. There's Google browser, which is not what I was checking. I was checking my Google account. So you're not going to check your Safari browser. You're going to check your iCloud.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got a Google account. You've got an iCloud account. Those are the 2 basic ones that you're going to have one or the other, and you can have both. I have both. I have an iCloud account and a Google account. I use my iCloud account very little. Use my Google account all the time, but you do the security checkup on your iCloud account because that's where all that stuff comes into play. So how are you going to do that? I've got Scott's iPad here. And so when you look at your device, at the once you go to settings, you go to the very top and you've got your account name, Scott Base there. So when I click on that, and it says right under it in gray letters, Apple account, iCloud, and more. So I'm going to tap on that. When I do that, it opens up the sidebar that is the Scott Based account. So there's my general settings on this side. And then on this side where his picture is, that is what I just opened up. So at the top of that, it says personal information, sign in and security. That's the second one down in that list. So I would start with that, sign in and security. So right there, second one down. So I'm going to tap on that. And it's getting ready to open it. So when it opened it up, it gave me, on this side here, it gives me the email address, which is a Google address, the phone number, the iCloud address, which he never uses, 2-factor authentication, change password, recovery, contacts, recovery key, legacy contact, and automatic verification. Those are the things just under sign in and security. I hit the back button on this. Now I go to iCloud. If you go down to the next little chunk there, see where it says iCloud? So when I tap on iCloud, that's going to give me all of the things that have to do with the iCloud account. And on that iCloud account, how much of the storage is used, features, data protection, advanced data protection, sadly, is way down here at the bottom, advanced data protection. He has access iCloud data on the web is on. He's got, there's a lot of choices to look at here. What's saved to iCloud? These are just choices he made, recommendations. So that's all about his iCloud. When I scroll down a little bit, contact key verification. So that's the very last one there, contact before sign out. Contact key verification. So that's something that I would check. What is your key for verification of who you are? Is it your face? Is it your finger? Is it a pin? Look at that when you look at your iCloud accounts. So, and that's pretty much what you're going to do for iCloud. Now, he got a smaller iPad. So, all right. So on the right-hand side, right? Here's the basic general, I get into settings and I scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and all the way down at the bottom, which is kind of interesting to me, I have Touch ID passcode and privacy and security. Okay, so that's where I'm going to go next on my iDevice, privacy and security. What do I have? Control which apps can access your data, your location, your camera, your microphone, and manage safety precautions. So that's where I am, privacy and security. And then right down there, it says learn more. So I want to know a little bit more. All right. And it gives me a whole article on what I can do and what I can control on this particular device, on this iPad. Control what apps have access to information, control which apps have location, control which apps have your camera. So it tells you all about it. And then not only does it give you a paragraph about it, but now underneath there's a blue line that says allow access to your web activity, how to view your privacy report. So all of the blue writing on this is more information. It'll lead you through it step by step by step. So I hit done. That closed that little article and just brought me back to privacy and security. And it shows me all of the apps. So for instance, if I go to calendar app and I tap that little arrow right next to calendar app, and it says full calendar access, 9 calendars, 1,500 events in the next year. And that's all it does, is it just told me what's happening with calendars from a general perspective. I can also go all the way down at the bottom of this. Again, I'm still in privacy and security, and I go all the way down to the bottom, and it has more interesting things like lockdown mode. Okay. I'm not going to touch that. He has it off. Actually, I am, because I'm curious, because I know that it's going to give me information. There's lockdown mode, and it says, turn on this extreme protection if you believe you're being targeted in a cyber attack. Apps, websites, and feature functionality will be limited, and some experiences may be completely unavailable. There's a learn more. So I can, what is this mode? And it gives me an article from Apple Support Services about lockdown mode. Okay, that's interesting. Tells me all about it. I'm going to hit done. Goes back. And then the other thing that I could do that I'm not going to do is turn on lockdown mode. So if I felt like I was under a cybersecurity attack, there's that for Apple folks. Kind of cool. Analytics and improvements, sensitive content warning, speech and recognition, accessories, all kinds of stuff under privacy and security. Those are things that you can tighten. Those are settings for you to make sure that you've got everything as secure as it can be. Okay, so that's not something that an antiviral is going to do for you. Settings are things you have to do for you. Make sense? Okay.
Yep.
Last thing, go ahead, Amy.
No, I said it makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah. So I really do want you guys to go and do a little digging into your security. You don't have to carve out an hour to do it. You can carve out 10 minutes to do it and familiarize yourself and go, oh, okay, I need to do that. So tomorrow while I'm having a cup of coffee, I'm going to do that one thing. And the next day, okay, I probably should do that. So I'll do that one thing the next day. And, I would assume that even if you read all the articles, it would take you less than an hour total to really do a good security checkup on your accounts. And you don't have to do it all at once. You can just do little bits at a time. Make one thing safer each day. And overall, it's going to have a big effect of making everything safer. All right.
Should
Go
this
ahead.
should this be done like twice a year, once a month? What do you recommend?
Well, that's a good question. If you've never done it, I'm just imploring you to just do it first.
Right.
Because this is the 3rd week in a row that I've asked folks to do a security checkup. And for a variety of reasons, we haven't. So, do it first, and then you have a better sense of what works for you, Medina. So that's
Okay.
a really good question. but you'll know, like I had mentioned a couple of times, well, I don't do this for this account because I know it's locked down, and I do this for this account because I know I'm everywhere with that. So I have more security on my personal account because I use that one for almost everything. I use the other accounts for very specific things, and they all have their own security settings, own security passwords, own security boxes, right? So when any other questions about that? Linda?
Said already, but what exactly is lockdown mode?
So what I just gathered, just there, it said that if you are under cyber attack, so you've been hacked, okay? You know that someone is actively taking control. You can go into lockdown mode, and what it said was it will limit the functionality of some apps and features. I guess if we read the whole article, we'd know which ones it would do. I'm assuming that it's going to put up firewalls that will help protect some stuff, which also means that probably you wouldn't be able to get to stuff either until you got the threat gone, diminished off your computer, off your device, off your phone or tablet, off of your account, and cleaned it off. Now, sometimes that means that you would have to, and now we're going advanced, so I know you know what we're talking about. If that were to happen, then knowing that you have done backups along the way, because Linda has a backup program, and it's not, is it carbonite? Okay. I know it's something strong like carbon fiber, you know? So I have to always think about what is that thing that's strong? Carbonite. And so that automatically backs up. That's a program that she pays for that automatically backs up her stuff so that if everything gets crashed and she has to wipe everything and start with a whole fresh new game plan, she already has backed up her data because she paid for a service to back up her data. You can do that manually. You can have a, keys that you're going to back up to, so that all of your stuff is safe and secure off of the web and on a separate device. You can have a hard drive, external hard drive that you would back up all your stuff to. You can download all your stuff and back it up. These days, it's a lot of data. It's a whole lot of data. So it almost seems like it makes a lot more sense to pay somebody to do that for you and to secure it for you. That it seems like a good idea if you have a lot of data. So, but if you were to go into lockdown mode and then you had to do a factory reset on your devices, because you've done backups, you have your stuff, right? You haven't lost anything. It's an inconvenience and it's a pain, but you haven't lost your stuff. You still have your data that you need. So, we kind of went off on a tangent, but that was a good tangent. Thank you, Linda. We were going to talk today about accessibility, and we have completely run out of time. What I'm going to invite you to do is to look, I'm going to start with Apple this time. Look on your, go to your settings and go to, oh, now see, I was looking at, okay, here it is. Under general, so you've got general where my pinky is. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this without dropping it. And then go down and you've got accessibility. And this is on an Apple device. When you go to accessibility, it's this iPad in ways that work for you with accessibility features for vision, mobility, hearing, speech, and cognition. And then there's learn more. So click the learn more. Why not? And it gives you a lovely article about Apple accessibility features. And you can learn. Use the built-in screen reader. This is vision. Use the built-in screen reader to hear what's on the screen and navigate iPad with gestures. So you could be blind and use your iPad, okay? Because it has an accessibility feature. Or make text bigger. Zoom in on the screen. Adjust display colors. If you're colorblind, that might be useful. You can use your iPad as a magnifying glass. Hold it up to get descriptions of your surroundings if you can't see them.
Wow.
How cool is that, right? Did you know this? So
No, we didn't know that.
so you go through, there's mobility, there's hearing, there's speech, there's cognitive, for helping people have greater independence. If there are people, for instance, if you know somebody who's starting to deal with some dementia, there is cognitive accessibility features that will help folks. Happy birthday to Andy. Happy birthday to Andy. Happy birthday to Andy. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Renee.
Uh,
Okay, so that was really good. So that's in accessibility right there under your iPad. Now on
I was waiting for you to finish.
Google.
all right, so now let's see. On my it's real easy on my phone, and this is where we're going to use it more. But on my settings on my phone,
You saw that, right? She was looking at this.
if I go to my settings and I scroll down, and it's going to be for mine, it's all the way down at the bottom, and it is also called accessibility.
Accessibility.
And when I tap on that,
What you
it
doing,
tells
hon?
me my screen reader, my display, my
Where
quick
settings?
access, my accessibility menu. There's a million things
for the-
that I can change here to make my phone
To
work
help out the
better
new
for me.
bathroom, for the
And
new bathroom.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Amy. Timing controls, just live caption. So it goes under the same things. Display, which would be vision, interactive controls using gestures, captions, audio, general accessibility shortcuts, text to speech output. So on your Android devices, you have the same type of things. Accessibility is the setting. Take a look at it. If you find, or you know somebody, and I'll wrap this up real quick, Bob, because they're going to start yoga real soon. If you find that there is somebody who is losing one of their senses, they're having diminished, whether it's touch, as we get older, our fingers are not as sensitive to touch. I know I've worked with several 90-year-olds who really struggle with using touchscreen because they can't feel where their fingers actually are. So that's a learned response, but you can change the settings in touchscreens to give you a feedback so you know that you did that thing. So pretty much if we all turn 90, we are going to have diminished capacity in our fingertips. So knowing, and it's called haptics, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Haptics. Correct me if anybody knows the word. And that's the feedback your phone gives you when you did something. It's a little like vibration almost thing. You can change how it works for your eyesight, for your hearing, all of that. And so good to know in advance, not when it's too late and you can't figure it out. So kind of cruise around in there with your settings and kind of see if there's anything that might help you there.
Betsy, there's another option for the finger.
Yeah.
It's that pencil and I just got one and it's, oh my gosh, it's so great. You know,
Good point. Yes. Scott
Yeah.
loves his pencils. I'm not
Yeah.
there yet.
Oh.
And one thing to know about the pencil. So she's talking about something that literally it's a stylus. It looks like a pencil.
Yeah.
It's all one plastic thing, but there's magic inside. It only works for the device it's designed for. Because we just sold, I know, we just sold his older iPad, and he had a one of the styluses for it, and that stylus did not work on his new iPad.
No
So
way.
it's very specific to
Way.
the device. Yeah, way. So we actually, when I had to just ship that stylus to the guy who bought it because it doesn't work for Scott. There was no point in him having it because it's just taking up space.
There's your
So yeah,
carbonite.
good to know.
Betsy,
Anyway.
can you next week maybe talk about what do you do with old device? I have my husband's laptop. I have 3 of his iPhones. What do you do with all that?
Perfect.
That's a good class.
We will do that next week.
Okay.
Cleaning up
Thank you.
old devices and what do you do
Thank
with
you,
them?
Betsy.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank
week,
you.
everybody.
Nice.